Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Christensen, and this is my personal values statement presentation. I currently live in Olds, Alberta, with my husband and two kids. I was born and raised in rural southern Alberta with strong family values of respect and hard work, among many other things. I have a solid foundation of family growing up around me, grandmas and grandpas, and aunts and uncles, and lots of cousins all around. And it was always the belief that whatever contributions you made, it went beyond self into the community, whether that was the local community or the global community. So my Haltona Foundations revealed the goal value of family and belonging with the means of wonder and curiosity, care and nurture, as well as the goal of self-worth with the means of patience and endurance, rights and respect. And these values are highly reflective of my own foundation and the foundation that we're striving to instill in our own children, Grace and Connor, who are 12 and 14, with the experiences that we provide for them. My focus has revealed goals, values of self-actualization with the means of search, meaning and hope, communication and information, as well as the goal of service and vocation through flexibility, adaptability, and empathy. And these are very reflective of the work I've been drawn to over the past 8 years, especially in my work as a middle school teacher, when we work with students to try and have them grow in these areas as well, especially that self-worth, self-actualization. And as I was doing that work with students, it was reflected in my own values growth as well. And as I evolved along that values track, it's where the internal images manifested themselves, and I am now currently in the master's program at U of A, as well as shifting my position out of the classroom to take a new position at Olds College as an instructional coach. So it's fascinating to me all the while I was doing that work with students that it was actually internalizing through me and now manifesting in these new ways for myself. So that focus piece was really quite insightful for me. The vision values reflected in the inventory revealed my focus was in phase 3 vocation, and the vision values were phase 3 and 4. And the goal values resonating from the vision were mostly the word value of direct communication from leadership that empowers and inspires others to wider vision at a global impact level, and human dignity, that consciousness of the basic right of all human beings to have respect and to have basic needs met so that each person has the opportunity to develop to their full potential. And while those sound very mighty, I do feel that it's the little actions throughout my day that these resonate the most. And that's what that will emerge as I talk about my skill development here coming up. So my supporting means values for those vision values of word and human dignity are centered on synergy and accountability and ethics. And these two things, I love the image behind this, by the way, just really speaks to the work that I'm doing right now. Currently at Olds College, when I started 12 years ago, I was 12 months ago. I was tasked with working with a group of instructors who wanted to redefine and redevelop their program, but they had deep personal and professional barriers between one another. So this was a highly dysfunctional group who had a huge dream of reworking their program. To start there with them, we reestablished the collaborative environment. So looking at group norms, appreciating strengths and limitations of one another, and working towards our strengths and always putting our students or others first. And that was our starting point. And this group is definitely moving forward in a positive way now. So what am I going to do to develop these synergy, accountability, and ethics skills? I will rely on my interpersonal skills, which are the ability to perceive self and others accurately in ways that facilitate communication, mutual understanding, and cooperation. But I still need to push into my imaginal skills, that ability to combine images and ideas in new ways, to see alternatives, to change conventional ways of doing things, and to remedy deficiencies. And whenever I read that statement, I think about the work that's been going on in education for decades and decades. And it's exciting for me now to see that, hey, I might have a piece of work to do there. So my skills that I will actively work towards are communicating to others through objective assessment and positive feedback, that person's level of ethical maturity. Now, this is a sensitive piece, so I need to rely on my means value of sharing, listening, and trust and I do that through one-on-one cognitive coaching conversations with instructors. I need to ensure that my clients have the time and space to feel safe. Conversations typically begin with what's going well in your world. We always start with the positive, and then through conversation, that will typically lead to parts that are stumbling blocks or frustrations. And then the natural flow from there is to set up some goal setting. What I would like to do is develop my vocabulary and language to be able to clearly communicate a client's current maturation state and how they can evolve their ethical maturity. So using the language from Values Shift and the Haltona values map is definitely starting to build that vocabulary for me, but I need to do more work there. I love this little image of this little girl because part of my work is setting judgment aside, setting my personal thoughts on things aside so that I can really reflect back what my clients' our current state is. So I need to recognize and use my ability to enrich others by addressing their conduct in relationship to their value systems and setting mine aside. And so this image really represents that reflectiveness that I use every day in my conversations, where I truly listen to understand their context and ethical maturity. Once I feel I have that grounding and what their personal values are, I can then maneuver through coaching questions to help them move further along towards their goals. And again, setting aside so that I'm non-judgmental and read their nonverbal and communication, their nonverbal communication accurately. So this is a skill that I'm using every day, but I need to build my awareness and really develop my skill set there. And finally, that piece of synergy, enabling a group to use group dynamics, community building, and strategic planning techniques to maximize its creative and collaborative purposes. I'm very comfortable speaking in groups, to groups. I think I'm an engaging speaker because I'm so very passionate about what I do. So my challenge then is to ignite that energy or synergy with others. And so I plan to collect strategies for collaborative planning and group engagement and practice these strategies with the instructors who are working on program development, the group that I mentioned earlier. I already have a mentor in place from Chinook's Edge School Division to assist me with some of this process, someone who's been doing this work a little bit longer, and I've already gathered some resources to support my work in this area. So that's an exciting piece as well. So I'll leave you with a quote from phase 3 of the Haltona Values Map. The world is a creative project in which I want to participate. I really feel that's where my focus is landing right now. My vision, of course, is pushing further into that global impact piece, but this is where I'm really comfortable and where I feel like I can always come back and ground myself. The journey is providing a clear path for me, this work of creating my personal vision, and I hope it's done the same for you. Thank you very much. Just a note that the references all come from Brian Hall's book, Values Shift, and images are all Creatively Commons licensed. And so if you're interested in any of the credits, if you just simply click on the Creative Commons icon in the corner, it will take you to the author of the image. Thank you so much. Take care.